Welcome to Grim Tales. True, twisted, and original horror stories is made to haunt you long after they end. Now, turn off the lights and listen closely. The apartment above mine has been empty for 3 years, but I hear someone walking up there every night. When I moved in, the building was quiet, almost unnaturally so. It's an old structure from the 60s, tucked into a side street where no one walks at night. It had that old apartment smell, like peeling paint and water that's been trapped in the pipes too long. My unit was clean, decent price, solid location. Nothing strange, really, except for the listing. The ad for the apartment didn't mention a unit above me. When I asked the landlord if anyone lived upstairs, he said, "No, that place is sealed. Has been for a long time." And then he changed the subject. But on my very first night, I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Uneven. Back and forth. Always between midnight and 3 a.m. Like someone pacing. Sometimes they stop for minutes at a time, and then suddenly start again. Like whoever it is just remembered they were supposed to be moving. I assumed someone had broken in. So I called the landlord the next day. He sounded annoyed, but he came by with the keys, took me upstairs, unlocked the door. The apartment was empty, and I don't mean no furniture empty, I mean vacant, dust on every surface. A kitchen full of untouched drawers, not even power running. He opened the fridge to prove it, completely warm. The only sound was our shoes echoing against bare floors. "No one's up here," he said. "No one's been up here since before I started managing this place." I asked why it was sealed. He hesitated, then muttered something about liability and structural issues. Then he locked it, turned, and walked away. But the noises didn't stop. They got worse. 2 nights later, I woke up at 2:47 a.m. to the sound of something dragging across the floor above me. Long, slow, deliberate. Like someone was pulling a heavy chair from one end of the room to the other. Then back, then silence, then a whisper, right above my bed. Too soft to understand, too clear to dismiss. I tried to rationalize it. Pipes, echoes from another unit, my own dreams. But the whispers came in patterns, rhythms, sometimes breathing, sometimes murmuring, never words. Until it said my name, 3 syllables. Software stretched, as if it had been waiting to pronounce it. I started asking my neighbors about the upstairs unit. Most avoided the question. One woman on the first floor said, "I've been here 10 years. That place has always been locked." Then she looked over her shoulder and whispered, "Don't knock on the ceiling, just don't." I hadn't. Until then. That night, the footsteps came again, louder than ever. I grabbed a broom, flipped it around, and tapped the ceiling once, then twice, then 3 times. Everything stopped. Dead silence. No footsteps, no breathing. I went to bed feeling weirdly victorious, like I'd finally won a round. Until 3:12 a.m. A single knock. On my ceiling, in the exact same rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Over the next week, I recorded everything. Audio logs, voice memos, just trying to prove to myself I wasn't losing it. But the weirdest part, none of the recordings ever captured a thing. No footsteps, no voices, just static. Not silence, static, like something was jamming it. I decided I needed answers. So the next time the landlord was out, I picked the lock. It wasn't hard. It was like the door wanted to open. Inside, the air was ice cold, the floor was dusty, but something was off. Like gravity was slightly tilted, like the walls weren't quite parallel. I stepped inside, expecting the emptiness I'd seen before, but this time there was something in the living room, something new. A mirror. It wasn't hanging on a wall. It was on the floor, nailed down, glass facing up, like a trapdoor made of reflection. I stepped closer, looked down, and saw myself. but I was sleeping. The reflection showed me lying in my own bed in my apartment below. Exact position, same sheets, same bruised pillow. And then, my reflection opened its eyes. I staggered back, nearly fell, and behind me something moved. Not in the mirror, in the apartment. I spun around, nothing there. But the sound of breathing filled the room. Close, wet, wrong. I ran. Down the stairs, slammed my door, locked every bolt, sat in the middle of the room with every light on. And then, the footsteps started again. This time they didn't stop. They walked until dawn, pacing, pausing, breathing, waiting. And in the mirror in my bathroom for a second, I thought I saw someone else standing behind me. Same height, same clothes, same face. But their smile didn't match mine. I stopped sleeping. Neighbors started avoiding me. Even the woman who once warned me crossed the street when she saw me. I asked the landlord to talk again. He wouldn't open his door, just shouted from inside, "That unit's not your problem. Let it stay locked." But it was my problem. I started hearing the mirror again, not seeing, hearing. A low hum, like an electrical current, constant, just on the edge of hearing. It made my teeth ache. I looked at myself in every reflection, phone, window, faucet, just to make sure I was still me. Sometimes, I wasn't. One morning I woke up and everything in my apartment was reversed. The couch, the fridge, the posters on the wall, all mirrored. Even the writing on my grocery list. And I remembered the mirror was facing down, like it was a window or a hatch. Maybe I hadn't just seen into my apartment. Maybe something else had seen me and liked what it saw. I decided to go back up, one last time. I brought tools, a hammer, salt, a lighter. I don't know what I thought I was going to do. Maybe break the mirror, maybe break whatever had crawled through it. But when I opened the apartment door, it wasn't the same place. It looked like mine. Perfectly copied, same couch, same coffee mug, same clothes thrown over the same chair. But the air smelled burnt, like electricity and mold. I stepped forward, called out. My voice echoed wrong, like the walls weren't real. And then I saw me, standing in the doorway of the kitchen, grinning, no blinking, no breathing, just watching. Then it spoke. My voice, but deeper. "Office, you shouldn't have opened it." I turned and ran. I don't remember leaving the apartment, just waking up the next day in my own bed. Door locked, no mirror, no sound, no footsteps. Nothing. Until tonight. Because now, when I walk across my floor, I don't hear anything beneath me. No creaks, no echoes, nothing. And I realized I can't hear my own footsteps anymore, which means I don't think I live downstairs anymore. If this story found its way under your skin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be waiting for the next tale.